It is rumored that the heartbeat of Manhattan emits distinctly from the concrete expanse of Times Square, where neon lights combat the night with audacity only known to New York City. Here, amidst the ceaseless choreography of pedestrians, billboards become galaxies, and the streets turn into rivers of light, rippling with reflections of urban constellations. This essay voyages into the vivid tapestry that is Times Square, exploring its architectural ballet, its pulsating culture, and the indelible imprints it leaves both on those who traverse its grounds and those who have never set foot on its vibrant sidewalks. Engaging the senses, and perhaps the soul, Times Square reveals itself not merely as a crossroad, but as a vast stage for the drama of the everyday, reflecting the grand narrative of New York City itself. In the nascent days of the 20th century, Times Square emerged as a junction of mere roads, a place caught between aspirations and the pragmatic hustle of horse-drawn carriages. From its early designation as Longacre Square, its transformation into the pulsating heart of Manhattan started with the arrival of the New York Times headquarters in 1904. The inaugural New Year's Eve celebration in 1907, where a glittering ball descended to mark Times' passage, consecrated it as an urban sanctum. Following the New York Times' relocation, the landscape blistered with change. Theaters sprang up, drawing curtains and crowds alike, heralding a new era. This patch of land, surrounded by the rapid expanse of brick and ambition, symbolized the relentless pursuit of modernity, an epicenter where narratives intertwined and legacies began. Amidst the choreography of rushing taxis and the whispers of thousands, the buildings of Times Square stand as monuments to human ingenuity. The amalgam of neon lights and towering billboards, which has come to define its skyline, mirrors the city's relentless ambition. Each structure, from the historic Times Tower to the contemporary designs of modern skyscrapers, narrates a chapter of New York's enduring saga. As dusk folds into the fabric of the city, the architectures begin their nocturnal symphony. They speak in flashes of neon, blues, reds, and greens, painting the night sky with dreams. It's a visual orchestration that tells tales of both the historical depths and aspirational heights of this cityscape. No discourse of Times Square's visual feast can omit the grand opera of its billboards. These towering signs are not merely advertisers' canvases, but are the contemporary frescoes of capitalism, broadcasting to every eye that walks their way. From the iconic Coca-Cola sign to the latest interactive digital screens, these billboards have evolved to become much more than static images. They interact, they provoke, they entertain, engaging with the millions of eyes that gaze upon them, creating a dynamic landscape of persuasive artistry. The human current crowds and their choreography. To observe from above, the movement of crowds in Times Square resembles a well-orchestrated ballet. Every individual, whether they be a local dashing to a Broadway show or a visitor pausing to photograph, contributes to the dance of diversity. Vendors, tourists, office workers, all participants in this daily dance, carve pathways through the square, each following their unique rhythm yet contributing to a collective motion that defines the pace of this iconic locale. From high browns to show tunes, cultural dynamics. Times Square has always been a melting pot of cultural offerings, from the highbrow galleries of yesteryears to the vibrant populist musicals of Broadway today. It's a place where art is not just consumed, but is lived, breathed, and constantly reimagined. The evolution of its theaters from vaudeville to the spectacular productions of today encapsulates a wider narrative about American entertainment and its audiences. Under the radiant marquees, narratives unfold that reflect societal shifts and technological advancements. Each show, whether it be a drama, a comedy, or a musical, acts as a mirror to the zeitgeist, offering both escapism and enlightenment to diverse audiences. The cinematic square Times Square in film and television. As a locale, Times Square has enjoyed as much fame on screen as it does in reality, serving as a backdrop to countless films and television shows that seek to capture the essence of New York City. From romantic comedies to gritty dramas, its presence amplifies the urban experience, turning everyday scenes into cinematic gold. It's not just the architecture or the crowds that make it appealing to filmmakers, but the inherent dynamism and narrative potential that the area embodies. Each corner tells a story, each billboard adds context, and every passerby could be a character in their own right. The pulse of commerce economic impacts. Times Square is not just a tourist magnet and a cultural hub, it's also one of the most valuable pieces of commercial real estate in the world. The economic activity it generates extends far beyond its geographical boundaries, influencing markets and industries across the city and beyond. From flagship retail stores to corporate giants, businesses vie for a presence in this coveted space, knowing well that visibility here can redefine brand perception. The economic ripples created by Times Square's commercial allure are felt in job creation, real estate values, and the broader economic health of New York City. Festivities in the square New Year's Eve and beyond. Perhaps no other event is as synonymous with Times Square as the New Year's Eve ball drop, a tradition that has welcomed the turn of the year for over a century. This event is more than just a celebration. It's a global ritual that marks time, renewal, and collective aspiration. Beyond New Year's Eve, Times Square hosts a plethora of events throughout the year, from red carpet movie premieres to public art installations, each adding layers to its cultural fabric and drawing diverse crowds. The sirens call Times Square and tourism. Times Square's allure to tourists is undeniable. It acts as a siren's call to those drawn by its fame, its lights, and its cinematic portrayal. Here, tourists find themselves part of an ever-unfolding drama, a participant in a place that feels familiar yet overwhelmingly novel. The tourism industry, centered in and around Times Square, is a testament to its global appeal. Hotels, guided tours, souvenir shops, and themed restaurants all cater to the millions who come to experience this icon of urban zest firsthand. Technological triumphs, screens, and innovations. The technological landscape of Times Square is as dynamic as its physical one. Giant LED screens not only advertise, but also showcase art, engage in social messages, and interact with audiences in real time, representing the cutting edge of outdoor display technology. These screens are a testament to human ingenuity and a symbol of our digital age, where communication is vast, immediate, and often breathtakingly visual. They transform the square into a digital canvas where art and commerce intermingle freely. Flavors of the square culinary diversity. Amidst the luminous expanse, Times Square hosts an eclectic array of culinary establishments, ranging from the historic diners that have served Broadway stars to trendy global eateries reflecting New York's melting pot. Each restaurant and food cart offers a taste of the world, making the area a mosaic not only of sights but also of flavors. The culinary scene in Times Square is as varied as its pedestrian traffic. From quintessential New York pizza slices that can be eaten on the go, to upscale dining experiences where reservations are coveted like Broadway tickets. The food here is part of the urban allure, providing sustenance and pleasure to the millions who pass through. The artisans of modernity, street performers and artists. The sidewalks of Times Square serve as impromptu stages for an array of street performers, from costumed characters to breakdancers, each adding to the square's vibrant tapestry. These artists, often overlooked in the rush, are vital in crafting the area's dynamic atmosphere, offering spontaneous performances that captivate and charm. These performers are not just background actors, they are the heartbeats of Times Square, their rhythms syncing with the flashing lights. Their artistry reflects the spirit of New York City, bold, diverse, and unapologetically expressive. Protests and proclamations. Times Square as a platform. Times Square has also played host to numerous demonstrations and public gatherings, becoming a platform for free expression and civic engagement. From historic labor protests to recent movements for social justice, its central location and symbolic significance make it a powerful venue for advocacy and change. The square, often seen as a hub of commercialism, transforms during these events into a space of political and social significance, demonstrating the multifaceted identity of this public arena. It becomes a place where voices are raised not just in celebration, but in dissent, each chant echoing off the skyscrapers. A melting pot of messages. Advertising as conversation. In Times Square, advertising transcends traditional boundaries, becoming a dynamic conversation starter. The massive digital billboards not only promote products, but also engage with cultural events, social movements, and public sentiments, making advertising a form of public discourse. These advertisements, often innovative and interactive, reflect the commercial pulse of the area, but also its capacity to mirror societal trends and moods. They serve as modern-day town criers, announcing not just goods, but the evolving collective consciousness. Shadows in the brilliance, crime, and safety. Despite its dazzle, Times Square has grappled with issues of crime and safety, particularly during its grittier years in the late 20th century. Efforts to revitalize the area have seen significant improvements, yet the challenge of maintaining safety in such a densely populated and iconic location remains ongoing. The presence of law enforcement and private security is palpable as they work to ensure that the vibrancy of Times Square is not overshadowed by security concerns. This aspect of Times Square's reality reminds us that the brilliance of urban life is often accompanied by the need for vigilance and care. Times Square is not just a destination, but a major transit hub, served by several subway lines, buses, and pedestrian routes. The flow of people through its stations is as integral to its identity as the flow of lights above. The accessibility of Times Square via public transit is a testament to New York City's interconnectedness. The constant influx and efflux of commuters contribute to the area's reputation as a place where all paths converge, underscoring its role as the heart of the city's transit system. Green among the gray environmental considerations. In a space dominated by concrete and digital screens, the quest for greenery and sustainability is poignant. Initiatives to incorporate environmental elements into Times Square speak to a broader urban desire for balance between nature and development. These green endeavors, although modest, are vital in offering breaths of fresh air amid the exhaust and are reflective of New York City's larger environmental goals. They represent small yet significant steps towards a more sustainable urban future. Voices from the Square. Interviews with regulars and revelers. To capture the essence of Times Square, one must listen to the stories of those who animate it daily. Interviews with vendors, performers, commuters, and tourists reveal a kaleidoscope of experiences and perspectives, painting a human portrait of this bustling mosaic. These narratives are as diverse as the city itself, each voice adding depth and dimension to our understanding of Times Square. They remind us that behind the luminous facade are countless stories of aspiration, struggle, joy, and routine. The future of the square. Predictions and potential. As we look towards the future, Times Square stands on the brink of new developments and potential transformations. Urban planners and stakeholders are continuously envisioning ways to enhance its functionality and appeal, ensuring that it remains relevant and vibrant. Predictions for the area's future vary, from technological advancements that could change the face of advertising to architectural innovations that offer new ways to experience the space. The potential is as vast as the imagination of those who shape it. Times Square in the collective imagination. Finally, Times Square exists not only as a physical space, but as a symbol in the collective imagination. It represents the possibilities and pressures of urban life, the beauty and chaos of diversity, and the endless dance between tradition and innovation. This symbolic dimension makes Times Square a place of perennial fascination and enduring relevance, a locale that captures the essence of New York City and, by extension, the complexities of modern urban life.